Hey there guys, and welcome to a new video. This is going to be the first in a series of videos around creating YouTube content, and my first video is going to be around creating thumbnails for your YouTube video. Thumbnails are really important. They capture someone viewing your channel and gives them an instant explanation of what the video is going to be about. So it's very important that you can create eye-catching thumbnails that are going to attract your audience to watching your videos. Now, something you'll notice about this series of videos I'm going to be doing on this, creating YouTube content, is that I like to use free software. I don't particularly want to have to spend any money on the software that I'm going to use, and I personally feel that you can create pretty good professional looking videos and media content with free software. So if you're going to follow this tutorial, the first thing you want to do is go off to www.gimp.org/downloads and download a copy of GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation Program. So very similar to Photoshop from Adobe, but it's free. So without further ado, I'll start. So we're going to go File, New to create a new image. My defaults are set to a width and height that's acceptable for me on my screen and design time. You want something that's going to give you a nice widescreen picture, though, remember that. So those settings work for me. You may want slightly small ones, but they will still need to be within proportion of this, which is going to be a widescreen image. Okay, we can straight away see that the image there gives me a nice background layer. So I've got my toolbox here, which I'm just going to resize slightly to make sure I can see it, and my layers, which is going to show me all the varying components that are within my project. The first thing I need to do, though, is add a background layer. Now we could just use a standard fill, which is a solid colour, but to be honest, most YouTube thumbnails are an image. The background is an image, should I say, from the video itself to give the thumbnail an association with the video. I create World of Warcraft content, and it's more than likely that if you're watching this video, that you are a World of Warcraft YouTube follower. So I'm going to use a World of Warcraft background. So I've gone off and got a screenshot or a background image, and you can just drag that in. I've got one of the Sunwell Plateau, which is an area obviously in Warcraft. As you can see, though, I've got some white space at the top and the bottom of my image. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to resize this image so it fills all this space. I can do that using the sizing tool, which is Shift T. Now once I've resized this image up, I need to make sure it goes high enough over the top of my boundaries. Now you need to make sure it goes bigger than the size of your main background. The reason being is that if you don't, it's going to have white space at the top and the bottom. Now this is quite a nice image, you can see there, but what I really want to do is centralize these pillars. So I'm going to do that by using the moving tool, which is a hotkey of M. Select that, and then I can just drag it slightly in, making sure that I keep in mind the location of the relevant items that I'm going to have on the screen. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to put some text on the top and the bottom of this. Now you could quite easily blur this out if you wanted to make it slightly more background applicable. You can do that via filters, blur, Gaussian blur, and you could maybe apply maybe 10 horizontal and vertical blur to that, which would sort of blur out the background and bring stuff into focus at the front. I'm not going to do that. Control Z. I quite like it being crisp and clear. Okay, so I want to add some text really now, so I'm going to use the text tool, T, a hotkey of T, and that's going to create me a text layer. Now what I really want to do, though, is actually set the options here. So first things first, I want to choose a colour. I'm going to choose an orange colour, okay. And I've chosen a font of slant, so I want to choose slant, yeah. A size of 250. And then a justification of centre with a colour of orange. Once I've done that, I should be able to type some text in. So I'm going to go Rep Paladin is my first text layer, and then my second text layer will be Arena. Okay, so once I've added the two separate text layers, I can then move them around. Now, If you wanted to create one text layer, you could do, that's fine, but you would only be able to apply visual effects to that one bit of text, and I'll show you in a minute why I've got to. So I can move that text via the movement tool again, hotkey of M, making sure that when I move it, I select the text itself. Now if I try and select anywhere outside of that text, I'm going to move the background image. Even if I choose, say, that bit, which looks like it should be the text, it's not going to be. It's quite specific around the actual bit that you want to move, so make sure you choose the text. That's pretty central. So I'm going to put that bit there and that bit about there. I might even drop that down slightly. Now, they're probably not big enough, so I need to just scale both of those text images slightly bigger. I'm going to make that one. In fact, I'm going to make that one massive because it's really important that people know that my video is about Arena. I'm going to centralize that again. I'm going to do the same with the rep paladin section. So to select that text image, I just select the text layer over there, and then select my text tool from my toolbox, choose the text, increase the size. Very simple, very straightforward. And I'm just going to move that one back again, make it slightly more central. Okay, so I've got my two text layers now. I could render that out, and I think that would probably look okay, to be honest. However, what I want to do is just add a little bit more detail to these pieces of text. So let's use the rep paladin. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the orange text. I'm going to do that by using the select by color tool, which is Shift O. I'm going to choose that. I'm going to edit stroke selection, and I'm going to add like an outline to the text, which is going to be a solid color stroke. Just click stroke there, 8 pixels, and it adds, oh, wrong color, sorry, black is what I want that to be. Edit stroke selection, and I'm going to choose that black outline there. So we should get a nice black outline. I'm going to do exactly the same on the Arena one in a second, but in the meantime, I'm also, as I've got this text selected and it's done my background, I'm going to apply a light shadow, a drop shadow effect to the background, and as you can see there, I've got a blur radius of 20. Color is kind of a white color. You'll need to change them. Quite straightforward. Click the color, choose there, or wherever you want. You can use the dropper if you want as well. Update those two if you want, and click OK. And you should now start to see that gives our text a bit of sparkle, a little bit of depth. So I'm going to do exactly the same on this text below. Select the text layer over here. Then select the color, select by color tool, Shift O, choose the orange. Then I'm going to go make sure I've got black selected in my color, go edit stroke selection, and then I'm going to choose my stroke selection, line width 8, stroke, and it gives me that stroke. And then I'm going to go filters, light shadow, drop shadow, and I'm going to choose the same defaults again, and boom, straight away both of my pieces of text start to instantly jump out the screen at people. So we're not a million miles off now. If we rendered that out, that would be a perfect thumbnail in my opinion. A nice image in the background, text that's going to jump out at someone and say exactly what this video is about. Rep Paladin Arena, fantastic. But I'm just going to give these texts a little bit of a sparkle just because I can. So I'm going to select the Rep Paladin selection again, and I'm going to choose the orange text again. And what I'm then going to do is I want to apply a bit of a gradient fill to it. So I'm going to use the fill area with gradient, which is L. Now I want to change some of these items. So first of all, my color, I want it to be this red. Secondly, I want to change the mode. Now, I can never remember which of these it is. I think it's light and only. Let's try light and only. I want to change the gradient to foreground transparent. Okay, so what that means is it's going to put a red, and it's going to fade out to, got it the wrong way around, sorry, dark and only, I think. It's going to put red in, and it's going to fade out, there we go, to yellow. So, probably got a bit too much there, and let me just quickly go again. I'm going to drag a line up, and you can see it kind of makes that red, but it fades out to the natural colour of orange. Do it again, slightly more, and it gives you slightly more red to orange. Now what I do is I do it from the bottom, but I'm also going to do it from the top. So straight away, and you can do it again over here to give everywhere. If I've done it too much, Control Z just takes a bit out. Okay, so once we've applied that effect to the top, we can apply it to the bottom. But I'm also going to apply a little bit of white. Now this is where that mode changes. I think that needs to be light and only on this one, and you should be able to see. There we go. Yeah. So I just Control Z because obviously did that a bit too quickly. You can see now, just applying a little bit of white, also as like an effect again. Now obviously this is all up to you, and you can have a play with this and see how things go. But you know, just it kind of makes the text sparkle a bit when you do this. And sometimes, you know, you spend a bit of time on these things, it really makes things look good. That should do for me, I think. But what I'm going to do is quickly apply the same effects to the bottom section. See straight away that that's starting to sparkle now. I think that's probably enough really. I could keep going and keep going and keep going, but hopefully that it gives you an idea of how to create a thumbnail for your YouTube videos. What we can then do is we can go File, Export, and I'm going to call it cute.jpg. Now this is quite important. It'll probably be defaulted to PNG. Now you need to go and select JPEG from that section there. The reason you do that is that the compression level for JPEG is far better. So you're going to get a smaller image footprint, which is easier to upload to YouTube. I think the thumbnail maximum is 2 meg. So a PNG would probably be above that, a JPEG won't. So if we export that, just accept the defaults. And then if I go and find that image, open it up, and that's our finished thumbnail. So hopefully you followed what I've done. It's my first type of video like this, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've been clear, and I hope, fingers crossed, you can all have a go. This is free software. That tutorial hopefully will get you started. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the video comment section. Please throw this a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, fair enough, throw a dislike, but make sure you tell me why in the comments. So cheers guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Stay tuned to the channel for more tutorials. I should have another one coming out on how to use Audacity to improve the audio quality of your videos, which again is a free tool. So fingers crossed you'll like that one, and stay tuned to the channel for more Retribution Paladin PvP footage as well. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.